Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel, where we delve into the most intriguing narratives swirling around the world of royalty and public figures. Today, we're unearthing a truly fascinating and, dare I say, somewhat perplexing saga involving none other than Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. It seems that for the Duchess, life is a perpetual journey through a landscape dotted with one dramatic turn after another. One can only imagine the sheer weight of expectation and the constant scrutiny she must endure, wondering with each new dawn, what fresh development will today bring? Indeed, for many years now, the Duchess of York has found herself inextricably linked to a web of serious allegations that have been widely circulated and discussed. The shadow cast by these events, particularly those surrounding her former husband, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, has been long and persistent. It's crucial, however, to always bear in mind a point we've often emphasized here on the show. Despite the myriad claims and the intense media spotlight, no firm, formal charges have ever been brought against Prince Andrew. This distinction, while sometimes overlooked in the fervor of public discourse, remains a significant legal fact. Yet, the absence of formal charges has done little to shield Sarah from the collateral damage. She has, regrettably, witnessed a significant diminishment of her once robust charitable portfolio, seen numerous contractual agreements dissolve, and found many of her anticipated book deals quietly recede into the background. In essence, she has largely gone to ground, as the saying goes, retreating from the more prominent social engagements and public endeavors that once defined a considerable part of her life. This withdrawal is, of course, a direct consequence of the deeply troubling association with the late Jeffrey Epstein, an association that, much like a persistent shadow, simply refuses to dissipate. It seems that with each passing day, new layers are added to this complex and painful narrative, ensuring it remains at the forefront of public consciousness. However, despite her earnest attempts to maintain a lower profile, Sarah Ferguson continues to find herself very much in the news. And in a twist of fate that might seem almost cruelly ironic, this renewed visibility is largely thanks to someone she arguably could do without, creating additional drama in her already tumultuous life. What makes this even more intriguing is that the individuals now generating this fresh wave of attention are, in a sense, inadvertently drawing the Duchess back into the spotlight. Allow me to elaborate on this rather intricate yet utterly compelling situation. Good morning, chums! It's truly wonderful to have your company today. A very warm welcome to all our brand new subscribers. It's an absolute pleasure to have you join our growing community. This particular story, when you truly consider its nuances, is remarkably interesting. You might quite reasonably conclude that Sarah Ferguson has, at least for the time being, chosen the honorable path. She has, by all accounts, opted to disappear from the social limelight, effectively removing herself from the bustling royal and celebrity calendar. Her motivation for this understandable retreat stems directly from the ongoing and deeply uncomfortable association with Jeffrey Epstein. This connection, as we've noted, is not fading away. In fact, it seems to gain renewed attention and further scrutiny with surprising regularity. What I also find exceptionally intriguing about situations of this nature is how, by mere association, other individuals and entities often feel compelled to make decisions or take actions that directly impact your name and reputation. This is precisely what is now being discussed among the production company and, indeed, within the hallowed halls of the television channel responsible for an upcoming ITV drama. The series in question is titled The Lady, and it features the talented Natalie Dormer in the pivotal role of Sarah, the Duchess of York. Now, this particular drama centers around a deeply scandalous and rather infamous chapter involving Sarah's former dresser and assistant, Jane Andrews. If you cast your minds back, you might recall the immense public fascination surrounding Jane Andrews' story. It was a truly colossal news event at the time. Imagine for a moment what that story would have been like if it had unfolded in our current social media age, with its instantaneous dissemination of information and relentless commentary. Back then, it was already a horrific and gripping tale that captivated the nation. And, as I mentioned, Natalie Dormer, an actress well known for her compelling performances in various high-profile productions, is portraying Sarah, the Duchess of York, within this dramatic retelling. Here's where the plot thickens considerably. Approximately 3 weeks ago, Natalie Dormer made a rather significant public statement. She announced quite unequivocally that due to Sarah Ferguson's continuing association with Jeffrey Epstein, and by extension Prince Andrew, she was no longer willing to actively promote the project. This declaration sent ripples through the entertainment industry and naturally caught the attention of those who follow royal news. The crucial detail, however, lies behind the scenes. Promoting the drama is, in fact, an integral part and parcel of her contractual obligations as the lead actress. This raises a compelling question that many astute observers are now openly asking. Could this entire situation be a colossal publicity stunt? After all, her refusal to promote the drama, which is still very much scheduled to proceed and will air on ITV this winter, has undeniably generated a significant amount of chatter. Furthermore, Ms. Dormer has also publicly claimed that she has donated her entire fee for the project to various charities with which she has now aligned herself. On the surface, this act is, without question, highly commendable. Absolutely. It's a noble gesture, indicative of a philanthropic spirit. However, the underlying strategic implication, some argue, is that this entire sequence of events, an actress publicly distancing herself from a project due to its subject's controversial associations, while simultaneously donating her earnings, serves to get people talking about a drama that, otherwise, might struggle to capture widespread attention. It creates a narrative arc, a point of intrigue. One might even describe it as a carefully orchestrated public relations spin designed to ignite conversation around a project. Let's consider the nature of the story itself. While many of us, particularly those of a certain generation, remember the Jane Andrews scandal because it unfolded within our lifetimes, would a younger audience, or someone who wasn't actively following news 5 or 8 years ago, truly be familiar with that story? And, perhaps more pertinently, how relevant is that specific historical scandal today, in a world saturated with new headlines and digital distractions? The true story, from a behind-the-scenes production perspective, is that the narrative surrounding Jane Andrews, while compelling at the time, isn't necessarily juicy enough, by contemporary standards, to guarantee a massive audience on its own. Moreover, and this is a critical point, Natalie Dormer's role in the drama is not, in fact, the overwhelmingly central one. The core narrative, the heart of the story, is actually about Jane Andrews herself, Sarah's personal dresser and assistant, and the dramatic events that unfolded in her life. So this brings us back to the fundamental question. Why is Natalie Dormer truly doing this? Is it a genuine moral stand, a principled refusal to be associated with a figure whose connections have become so deeply problematic? Or is it a shrewd, well-calculated move to generate maximum publicity for a project that might otherwise pass under the radar, while simultaneously burnishing her own public image through an act of philanthropy? The ambiguity itself becomes part of the intrigue. And as I pondered at the very outset of this discussion, once again, if you were Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, observing these developments from your somewhat secluded position, you might be left with that poignant, almost heartbreaking thought. Can I do anything right? Even when I'm not directly involved, even when I'm striving for quietude, why do these new dramas relentlessly pull me back into the unforgiving glare of the public eye? It's a question that, one imagines, she must ask herself with disheartening frequency. The Duchess's life, it seems, has become a masterclass in navigating an unending series of public relations challenges. From the early days of her marriage to Prince Andrew, through their eventual separation and divorce, and then into her post-royal career as an author and charity patron, Sarah Ferguson has consistently found herself at the epicenter of public fascination, and often controversy. Her efforts to forge an independent path, to define herself beyond the confines of royal expectations, have been met with a mixed bag of success and considerable tribulation. The shadow of Jeffrey Epstein's dark legacy, however, has proven to be perhaps the most intractable challenge of all. Despite Sarah's personal distance from Prince Andrew's alleged involvement in the scandal, and her own public statements condemning Epstein's actions, the association, by virtue of her former marital ties, has been a relentless impediment. It has cost her financially, professionally, and undoubtedly personally. Her retreat from the public eye, therefore, was not merely a choice, but in many respects, a necessity, an attempt to find a modicum of peace and allow the storm to pass. Yet, as we've seen with this latest development concerning The Lady and Natalie Dormer, even attempts at self-imposed social exile are not always sufficient to escape the relentless pull of the news cycle. A story about her former dresser, now being dramatized for television, provides a fresh conduit for her name to be uttered in the same breath as the controversies she so desperately wishes to distance herself from. It's a testament to the enduring power of association and the almost inescapable nature of a public persona, especially one connected to the royal family. Natalie Dormer's decision, whether driven by genuine moral conviction or strategic publicity, undeniably adds another layer to this already complex tapestry. If it is a principled stand, it reflects a growing trend among public figures to use their platforms to voice ethical concerns, even if it means potentially breaching contractual agreements or drawing criticism. Such actions can be powerful, signaling a shift in how celebrities perceive their responsibilities beyond mere entertainment. However, if, as some speculate, it is a calculated publicity maneuver, it speaks volumes about the cutthroat nature of the entertainment industry and the lengths to which production companies and actors might go to ensure their projects gain traction in an incredibly crowded media landscape. The idea that a show about a historical scandal might require a contemporary scandal to truly capture an audience is in itself a fascinating and somewhat cynical commentary on our times. It suggests that the true story alone might not be enough. It needs that extra spark of controversy, that contemporary hook, to ignite public interest. And in the midst of all this, Sarah Ferguson remains the constant. She is the figure around whom these dramas coalesce, often without her direct instigation. It's a stark reminder of the unique challenges faced by individuals who have once held a prominent position within the royal family. Their lives, even after official departure or retreat, remain subjects of immense public interest, and their past associations continue to reverberate through the present. The public's memory, particularly when fueled by dramatic narratives, is long and unforgiving. This entire episode serves as a powerful illustration of the intricate and often unforgiving dance between celebrity, scandal, media manipulation, and public perception. It highlights how even a seemingly unrelated event, an actress's decision regarding a television drama, can have profound and often unwelcome implications for a public figure who is actively attempting to navigate a quieter existence. The enduring fascination with the Duchess of York, her trials and tribulations, continues to provide us with much to reflect upon regarding the nature of fame, reputation, and the relentless demands of the public sphere. What are your thoughts on this truly captivating turn of events? Do you believe Natalie Dormer's actions are a genuine moral stand, or do you suspect there's a clever layer of publicity strategy at play? And how do you feel about Sarah Ferguson being continually drawn into these new narratives, even when she's trying to maintain a low profile? Share your insights, opinions, and observations in the comments section below. We always appreciate hearing your perspectives and engaging in thoughtful discussion. Don't forget to like this video if you found this discussion insightful, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into royal and celebrity news, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next update. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon.